want us to look at a question again on consent-based policing, this time looking at a question: how do police leaders create a consent-based policing strategy? And then the second question is, how do you ensure that that strategy is delivered from theory to actual service delivery? The first point I want to look at is this: providing the right sustainable resources. It's good to have your strategy, it's good to have your vision, but it's important to back that up with resources. Having the right people equipped with finances to support long-term sustainable delivery of consent-based policing. Having them educated, trained, and education and training that is continuous. It's not just a one-off. I see this a lot from my personal experience and from my work internationally, where police services and organisations do training and then release officers and staff and expect that they will continue on. Policing evolves and develops, and those officers and staff need their skills to be continually updated and renewed and supported. So that's an important part. And then having the right infrastructure around your strategy and your officers. The right infrastructure in terms of providing them with equipment like cars, like radios, like computers, like phones, like equipment to communicate, like iPads and so forth. And these are all very, very important. Having the proper police stations and actually policing outposts, depending on the environment that you're working on, or actually even sometimes mobile police stations. But the infrastructure is another important part of that. Your strategy and vision that we talked about in the first presentation around the key building blocks for consent-based policing. Having a strategy and a vision, but actually that it's more than that. It changes the culture within your organization. You need to embed a culture of community policing. And actually that culture needs to come from the top right down to the bottom of the organization. It needs to operate from inside and outside with everybody signed up to consent-based policing. It must be part of the DNA of your organization. You should publish it as well. If you've got that vision, publish it. And make sure that the publication is effective, that it's reaching the right audiences, that people understand it, and people effectively are delivering it on your behalf. Owning your vision is important. You must be passionate about this. I've delivered many very different types of community visions, but it's something, from my experience, when you are personally passionate about it, when leaders are passionate about it, leaders who buy into this, and I've seen this where it's working effectively internationally in places like the Balkans, for example, East or North Africa. When leaders buy into this, you generally find good examples of consent-based policing because they believe in it. They hold then people accountable for it, and they constantly check and ensure that it's actually being delivered. Communication is important. Communicating your vision to the right people, to your partners, to communities, making them understand, deliver their expectations of your people, what you expect from them. Also to manage the expectations from the people that you're serving, because you don't want to over promise and under deliver. And that quite often is the key. Check understanding of your people that actually they're delivering on your vision. Check the effectiveness of your communications is so important. Empowering others is another key part from my point of view. Supporting them, empowering those leaders who you work for or who work for you, empowering your staff to get on with the job, to be free from micromanagement. Nobody hates a micromanager worse than me, but actually empowering them to get on with them, supporting them. When they make a mistake, help them to overcome and support them through that. Building a good team of people is another important part. Having a good team of people to support your vision, but it's holding those individuals accountable for their support and for the delivery on your behalf. Having staff that are competent and capable is also important in this. Making sure you meet the community needs. It's all very well saying, well, we're going to do this. We're going to meet these, we're going to deliver this particular service. But actually, is it what the community need? Is it really what's meeting their needs? Quite often you'll find the main things will be antisocial behaviour, burglaries, drugs, youth crime. Low levels of crime quite often are the big things for communities. It's important that you meet those needs through your consent-based policing strategy. Listening to those communities, meeting with them face to face, being accountable to them, also being accountable to your staff, meeting with them face to face, hearing from their perspective how challenging things are, or how well things are going, building the right partnerships, sharing your resources with common aims and common goals with your partners. It's amazing how when you share your resources, share the knowledge that's available within those partnerships, how you can all meet a common aims and common goals. As I said at the outset, the culture is so important. Where you build a culture of consent-based policing where people believe in it. They come to work to deliver that. They understand it. It becomes their passion as well as your passion, and ultimately becomes part of the DNA of your organization. And then making sure that you constantly evaluate and review your strategies and the implementation of your strategies, making sure that it's being delivered effectively. Make the changes where you need to make those changes, and constantly professionalizing and improving. Build and bringing your people with you. That's the last point I want to make. Bring people with you. Don't expect them to deliver on your behalf. Bring them with you. You will get resistance. Any change management, any change process often will meet resistance. So bring your people with you, and being prepared to challenge people who don't want to move with you on that journey. Be prepared to challenge them with those resistors. Hopefully these points are helpful to you, and thank you for listening today.
If you would like to receive more information on the topics covered in this video or any other videos, please subscribe to our channel or contact us on www.themisgroup.org and we will get in touch.